Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and we have some more terrible legal news for Donald Trump. So you must be thinking that this news is coming from New York, where charges seem to be right around the corner, or maybe from Georgia, where the prosecutor said that charges are imminent. But no, unfortunately for Donald and his team, this legal news is coming from the classified document case that's being investigated by special counsel Jack Smith. And now we've just learned about some massive steps taken by Jack Smith that'll get him closer to an indictment of Donald Trump. So yesterday, it's been revealed that dozens of Mar-a-Lago staff, from servers to aides, have been subpoenaed in the classified document investigation. Now, this is a very, very big deal because so far we know about all the major steps that the FBI and the Department of Justice have taken against Donald Trump in this case. Like, they sent subpoenas to Donald Trump for all of the documents, which he virtually ignored. He apparently moved documents from certain places so that the FBI and other federal authorities wouldn't find them. Oh, and by the way, that's apparently been all caught on camera from the Mar-a-Lago cameras that are inside. The FBI, of course, searched Mar-a-Lago and found more classified documents there, even after Donald Trump and his lawyers signed a letter saying that they had given them all back. And of course, before that search, the FBI and the Department of Justice claimed in court that they had evidence that Donald Trump broke the law, which eventually allowed them to have the subpoena. So those are just some of the major actions, but now it's time to start building a case against Donald Trump, which is what this signals. So multiple sources with knowledge on the classified document investigation have confirmed that at least 24 people, from Mar-a-Lago resort staff to members of Donald Trump's inner circle at the Florida estate, have been subpoenaed to testify to a federal grand jury. And a major development, which presumably led to the publication of this story, occurred on Thursday when Trump's communication aide, Margot Martin, who worked in the White House and then moved with Trump to Florida, appeared before the federal grand jury in DC. And that's a pretty big deal, and it shows that Jack Smith is not holding back. They are sending subpoenas to anybody who could provide crucial information into this investigation. In order to indict Donald Trump for the potential crimes he's being accused of in this investigation, such as obstruction of justice and the violation of the Espionage Act, they're going to need a lot of evidence, including witness testimony. And of course, an experienced prosecutor like Jack Smith knows this very well, and that's why he's not holding back on anybody. Now, I've seen some people wondering why the Department of Justice is sending out subpoenas to people like servers in Mar-a-Lago. Like, what connection do they have to the investigation? But there's very good reason, and this is exactly why. So of course, Jack Smith has sought testimony from a range of people close to Donald Trump, from his own attorneys who represent him in the matter, to staffers who work on the grounds of Mar-a-Lago, including a housekeeper and restaurant servers. But the employees and the staffers are of particular interest to investigators because of what they may have seen or heard while on their daily duties around the estate, including whether they saw boxes or documents in Trump's office suite or elsewhere. The thing about this investigation is that the housekeeper who might have just walked through Donald Trump's office could provide vital testimony. Sometimes it's just the quietest person in the room who's just observing who could provide the best testimony to investigators. And especially in this investigation, where some of Donald Trump's highest aides are extremely loyal to him, to the point that they may lie under oath or just outright refuse a subpoena. Their testimony might not be as valuable as the housekeeper who happened to overhear their conversation. Sometimes you have to speak to everybody around the criminal in order to get to the criminal. But here's one of the most crucial details. A source familiar with the Department of Justice efforts said that they're casting an extremely wide net. Anyone and everyone who might have seen something. The CNN article goes on to say, for instance, federal investigators have talked to a Mar-a-Lago staff member seen on security camera footage moving boxes from a storage room with one of Donald Trump's aides. And while that person might not be the highest level staffer, or maybe they're just a general employee at Mar-a-Lago, their testimony could be really important. So the fact that Jack Smith has subpoenaed so many people around Donald Trump is genius. There are so many people who could have just seen classified documents stored in Donald Trump's living areas or his office or anywhere in Mar-a-Lago for that matter. And if they did, Jack Smith is gonna find out. And the cherry on top of this story is that Donald Trump is paying for legal representation for everybody who's been subpoenaed, which to me sounds, one, very fishy, but two, it also sounds like Donald Trump is nervous. And the real beauty of this story is that it's terrible news for Donald Trump, but it's only one of the investigations. He is facing trouble in New York, in Georgia, in the Department of Justice for the January 6th investigation, and of course, the document investigation. And this is on top of the many other civil lawsuits threatening Donald Trump. But man, I think it's safe to say that if I were Donald Trump, I would be terrified right now. Anyway, folks, that's gonna wrap up the video for today. I really hope you enjoyed. This is just such a massive story. Please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And once again, whether you agree with me or you disagree with me, have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you folks soon.